Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Mental Mondays on Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys checking the video out. And all you regulars, welcome back. And if it's the first time that you've had a chance to check out Mental Mondays, welcome to the club here. I've sort of considered this a club since it's probably my smallest viewed videos that I do, simply because we don't really talk about fishing here. Once a week we sort of take a break of it and sort of talk about things that sort of designed to make people think a little bit, stretch your mind. So everybody, thanks a lot for tuning in and welcome. Guys, today we're going to talk about the topic of what I call fighting the good fight. And I think everybody's familiar with that term. I sort of want to delve into it a little bit deeper about really what that means and to get a proper perspective on it. Because it seems like to me it comes up a lot here lately. I've noticed it come up a lot more in my own life the past 5 years or so. First of all, let's sort of define what that is, fighting the good fight. Fighting the good fight is sort of like standing up for something, even if it's an unpopular opinion, if you think it's the right thing to do. And I think that's pretty admirable, but one of the things that I think you have to realize when you make a commitment to fighting the good fight, you sort of have to ask yourself, what is it that you're really fighting for? You know, what is the end goal there? And is there a higher purpose behind it? Because I think one of the most important things to remember if you're passionate about anything and you're willing to make a stand against something or for something or against something is you sort of have to decide if the goal or the end result is something that benefits everybody. Because the good fight is something that everybody benefits from. It's not something that people do to like fulfill a personal agenda or a belief system that doesn't apply to other people. I think a lot of people tend to, they get sort of on a soapbox thinking they're fighting a good fight out of their own personal belief system. And one of the things you have to understand about belief systems, whether they be, social, economic, religious, political, whatever like that, is that's what they are. It's a belief system. It may not be grounded in reality. So when you're talking about fighting a good fight and getting behind something, you have to realize that whatever that is, it's got to work for everybody. And if you're trying to force a particular point of view or belief system on somebody that does not benefit them in any way, shape, or form, or benefit the whole, then it may not be as good a fight as what you're talking about here. And I think that's probably one of the biggest misconceptions when you're talking about fighting a good fight. Now, in my opinion, something that's a good fight is something that goes beyond self. It goes beyond any type of personal agenda. It goes beyond any type of benefit to you personally. The best fights to have out there, and the ones that if you're choosing to make a stand against something, they've got to be highly principled. And what I'm talking about is whatever that stance is, it has got to be, you have to be removed from that as far as any benefit to yourself personally in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't matter what that benefit could be. And it has to be something that is geared to making everybody's life better, or everybody's future better, or future generations' lives better. That is a true higher purpose, and that is the good fight to have. And one of my favorite stories that I've heard, ever in my life is a lot of you guys may have heard, the past times that I've spent in wilderness survival schools in the past. And in these wilderness survival schools, a lot of it is you delve heavily into Native American philosophy. And if there's any one, I don't want to call it belief system, but if there's any one thing that I really gravitate a little bit, it's to a lot of the Native American philosophies, because those Native American philosophies to me work for everybody. And one of the prime parts of a Native American philosophy for some indigenous peoples out there is that a lot of the elders are the wise people, and the elders were looked up upon in any tribe in most tribal situations, but a lot of the wiser ones would always teach the fact that to everybody else in the tribe, it's like before you do something or before you take an action, it doesn't matter what it is, you have to first ask yourself, before I take this particular action, is it going to benefit the next generations that come after us? It's like, is it going to make their lives better? Is it going to make their lives more, sustainable? Is it going to make the planet more sustainable? And if they could answer yes to that, that would be a good indication to make that move or make that decision, or whatever it was. But if it wasn't, they simply wouldn't do it. And even though some people may have had a personal agenda to serve by that, and that's one of the things that I think we have to realize today. It's like everybody needs to have something to fight for. It's like, and when I'm talking about fighting for something, I'm talking about standing up for something and being passionate about that. Because if you don't, in life, guys, if you don't have some type of passion and desire and some type of goal or something to look forward to, or to keep you motivated, it's not a very fulfilling life. Everybody needs that. Everybody needs to have passion and desire in their life, and having something to constantly feel like you're fighting a good fight, I think, is a very, very worthwhile goal in anybody's life out there. And I think that you have many of those fights. It's not like you just have one in your life. I think there's different seasons in everybody's life that they do that. But nevertheless, I think it's important to have that. But all too often today, I think that it seems like that's guiding the entire concept of fighting the good fight has got sort of I don't know the best way to describe it, but it's not realistic, or it's not authentic the way it should be out there. So I just wish everybody out there would really examine that, before they make a stand against that. A prime example is, a lot of you guys watch the channel, my anti-LiveScope position out there. And I'm neck deep in this fight right now against getting forward-facing sonar and exploding technology banned, because I know it's the good fight. I know this fight that I'm fighting it's not here to benefit me in any way, shape, or form. It's to ensure that we got something sustainable for future generations in fishing now. And I've got both heels dug in with that. And I can justify that passion and that desire I have from various points of views and critical thinking skills and being in touch with reality, basically. And it doesn't matter. That's just one example of a fight I'm involved right now. Everybody has their own battle that they're dealing with out there. But the main thing, guys, point of the video is really what I talk about. I think it's important for everybody to be fighting a battle for the good and for the betterment of the planet we live on, the lives that we lead, the future of our generations that are here after us. I think that's something that everyone needs to do all the time. But the point of this video is I want to clarify and make sure to everybody that you've got to be sure that you're fighting the good fight. And that's just some of the definitions that, in my personal point of view, what a good fight is. Don't confuse your personal belief systems with reality of that. And there's some people can go back and forth on that. It's like, your reality may not be my reality, vice versa. But in actuality, guys, the truth is the truth. It's like, truth is something that is backed up by mutual consensus. It's backed up behind, fact-based, independent sources. It's backed up by reproducible results. It's not anything that's backed up behind, emotion or things that are there to benefit you personally. I think anything that we do in life, to a large degree, I think you can sift through a lot of the things in life by simply asking yourself, is this a selfish motivation that I have? Is this something that I'm just doing for myself and it's not going to benefit anyone else? And I just think that one of the things that we need to teach kids at an earlier age is just not to be so self-centered, not think about your own, what you want here and now. It's everybody has got to think about things bigger and beyond themselves. And the more that we do that, the better planet we have, the better society we have, the better interaction we have with other people. It just makes life better in general out there. And if I look throughout people that I know or people that I know in the public eye, most anybody out there that is self-centered, narcissistic, focused on, improving their own situation, selfish and greedy, that they sort of represent the worst in the human species out there. And most people can see that out there. That's why, when somebody is out there like that, it's very noticeable. And it's most noticeable, obviously, in high profile, cases like politics or, public figures and that type of stuff. But everybody knows somebody like that in their own personal life as well. So anyway, guys, just wanted to pass that along. It's really good to have a good fight. It's really good to be fighting a good fight. Make sure that you examine what that fight is. And like I said, just keep the passion alive, man, because, once you lose your passion in life, once you lose your desire in life, you're missing out on everything that you're missing out on, like one of the greatest opportunities of being in physical form on this earth here and now in this place. So anyway, hope it helps out with you guys a little bit. We'll talk later. See you.